Hello again! For today's video I am covering the event cards. This is the second to last video because after this one I am planning on making one where I go over some cards I missed and some cards that I have changed my mind on. After this video goes up, I plan to make a community poll where you can vote on whether you prefer the extras video, you just rush through the cards I changed my mind, or go in detail. Also for this video I am using a script so as to make what I say and what I write in the subtitles easier to sync. Thanks to TempinBeer6234, I'm sorry if that's not how you pronounce your name, for commenting on the last video and mentioning this. Without further ado, let's get started since there are a lot of event cards to go over. First up for today is Forget-Me-Nots. Honestly, this card isn't as OP as other cards, you could even say it's fine, but personally I think it's kind of annoying. I think they could make it a 1-1 with Bullseye. This would still be in class since it's a Guardian card, and it would still be alright, since it at least doesn't charge the block meter, but still deals damage and still has an effect. Shamrocket, so yeah, I do believe this card needs a nerf. People like to compare it to Rocket Science since they basically do the same thing, but the way I see it, Shamrocket is a lot more impactful. I think this is because since zombies don't have team-ups, removing a strong zombie is more hurtful than removing a strong plant. I could be wrong with this, but it's just the way it feels. Anyways, make this a 4-cost, I suppose. Next up is Red Stinger. This card has two forms and both forms have a problem. In the defensive form, which is a 2-7, it is outclassed by other walls like Primal Walnut, and in the offensive form, 7-2, it just dies far too easily. I think they should make it a 3-5, this way it would be alright in its defensive form and decent in its offensive form, even if the stats are a bit lower. Atomic Pomegranate. This is an easy one, just make the created seedlings team up. This will basically guarantee that they will always be created, well, unless the lane has 2 plants already. Electric Blueberry. Currently this card is just kinda bad in general, it has bad stats for its cost, and the thing it hits is random. Personally, I think this should just be a 4-cost 0-4, and the damage it deals should be 5 instead of 6. It would still be random, but being able to get it out earlier would make it better in my opinion. Banana Split, I had a fun idea for this one. Make it a 4-1, but give it half Banana's effect, which is all bananas in your hand get +1/+1. This way it would be even better for Banana synergy while keeping its offensive abilities and punishing your opponent even more for destroying it. Lucky Clover. This card is kind of slow for a funny RNG card, plus best case scenario this gets +6 attack, which is a lot, but that rarely happens. They should just make it a 4-cost 1-4. Lily of the Valley. This one went from OP as heck to trash the dice too easily. I had a funny idea for this one. Make it a 1-3 again, but nerf the effect to +1/+1 and make it so the created card also moves to a random lane so it doesn't clog the heights lane. Freeze. Bad stats, bad effect. Honestly, this card just needs a new effect altogether, but I couldn't really come up with anything, so just make it a 2-2 I guess. Tap Flaying. Here we'll just take a Jake Extremes 4108 suggestion and make it a 5-4. It's a simple change, sure, but this is the type of card that could be good already, it's just kind of iffy. Haunted Pumpkin. So yeah, the main problem with this card is that it doesn't really have a downside, since even though monster zombies are usually decent, they tend to cost a lot, so you can't even make sure of them quickly. Because of this, I think the monster this creates should cost 1 less. And the final plant for today, Sunshroom. I saw some suggestions for this one, but personally I just think this should buff the Sunnier Shroom it creates as a bonus for actually playing this first instead of just playing Sunnier Shroom directly. Maybe make it so the created card gets +2 HP or something. Overstuffed Zombie. So, this one was a 3-5, which was bad, then it became a 4-4, which is still bad. So, I say, make it a 5-3. It will probably still be bad, but hey, it would be funny. King of the Grill. For this one I don't know, to be honest. Maybe make the Conjured Gourmet cards cost 1 less? I don't know, it would have the same issues, it would just reward you to somehow manage to pull its ability off. How the mighty have fallen. Regifting Zombie was nerfed to nerf bulk decks because they refused to nerf bulk directly. Honestly, just make this a 2-cost again, even if they have to, I don't know, nerf the stats to 2-2. Leprechaun, or however you pronounce it. Yet another busted card that was turned into trash. In case you don't know, this used to shuffle 2 pots of gold. Honestly, since this is the only card that can create pot of gold, I have no clue why they changed the number of shuffle cards instead of the number of cards the pot drew. So just change that, make the pot of gold draw 2 instead of 3, but make this imp shuffle 2 pot of golds. Stupid Cupid. Okay, so for this one I know it's out of class, but yeah, this should just have amphibious, like it just makes sense, you know? Gargantuar, or however you pronounce it. Maybe make this one a 4-5, but buff the effect to +2/+2 per zombie destroyed. Again, with Gargs in general, they are just not real good, but I can't reduce their cost since I am fairly certain they have a theme of costing 5 or more. Well, aside from the Gargantuar tricks, I guess. Exploding Fruitcake, how was this card allowed? Again, just like with Haunted Pumpkin, fruit cards aren't the worst. In fact, I think they tend to be pretty good. But a random card in exchange for getting one of your cards basically hard removed for 2 brains is just too good. It should only deal 5 damage, maybe it's 6 if they think 5 is too harsh, but personally I would go with 5. Hippity Hop card, so a similar idea to Gargantuar, just nerf the stats would make the effect better. In this case, make it a 4-5, but make it throw 2x. I think it could be pretty good like this actually. Turkey Raider. Honestly, the biggest problem with this card is that leftovers are kind of bad. I will probably mention them in the extras video, but for now make this a 2-3. Bonus track Buckethead. Same buff as normal Buckethead, which I mentioned in the Uncommons video, which is give it +1 HP. Also, funny fact, currently this loses the trait to a Wingnut. And finally, the last card for this video, which is Zombie High Diver. This card is a mess. Even if you disregard the glitches it has, it's just not good in general. I had an interesting idea for this one. Maybe this should have an effect where if the water lane is clogged, then this moves as far to the right as possible and gets +2/+2. Basically a trick cost 4-5 if you have your water lane clogged, instead of this doing nothing in those situations. Anyways, this is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And make sure to leave your feedback in the comments since I will be working on the extras video in around 3 to 4 weeks. So if you want me to read your suggestions, leave them soon. Also remember to check out the community poll, I will try to get it out as soon as this video comes out. And with all of that said, thank you for watching and goodbye.